Salut! Eu mă numesc Liliana și așa cum te-am obișnuit, împreună descoperim oameni, dar și evenimente frumoase. Astăzi împreună mergem la Safety Tracking Forum, un eveniment cu ușile închise, unde sunt acceptați doar persoane din domeniu care deja activează și au experiență. Haideți împreună să descoperim și acest eveniment. Okay, nice to meet you. Welcome to the event.
Thank you so much.
So, how did you heard about the event?
So I was at a DOT compliance meeting and Anna invited me to participate here today.
What are your expectations from this event? What do you think it will happen here?
So I think there's going to be a lot of shared different viewpoints in the logistics industry. So I'm really excited to learn about different areas and everybody's opinions on what's going on.
What are you doing?
I'm with Easy Logs. I'm an ELD provider. So I'm coming to bring that side of the business to the team. I do keep really close contact with FMCSA and what is going on behind the scenes there. So I'm hoping to bring some of that today.
During that 72 hours, they put out of service 16,000 commercial motor vehicles in 72 hours. One of the
ELD? Because was something wrong?
No, actually there was like 5 different main reasons why they put them out of service. I think number 1 was brakes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But one of them was ELD related, and it was false logbook. And those main false logbook was for unidentified driving, so unclaimed unidentified driving, and for misuse of PC. So a lot of drivers do not understand that they need to go and look at their logbook and make sure there's no unclaimed unidentified driving. So unidentified driving happens when your ELD doesn't have service at that moment. It's still recording the drive. It's just not in the driver logbook. It happens when the driver is not logged into the app and he's driving. And that's not the only provider I had with that issue, where they just didn't realize to go into their safety dashboard and kind of click around and look what's going on. Also make sure that you're watching PC. Again, I was with another provider, and I'm kind of going through their logbooks and looking, and I say, look at this driver. He drove on PC about 2 hours, and then he went on duty PTI. So that's a problem. So he was actually, should have been on duty to the load, and then you're doing your PTI, and you pick up the load and you go.
He was adverse.
It's not a, it's, yes, he was. That's not a personal move if you're driving to pick up a load.
Right.
So, and the reason why I went into the office is because they had a driver this week get a ticket, and they had false log violation, 4 of them out of service, because the officer saw that 4 days in a row the driver was abusing PC. So of course they're upset about this big ticket. It hits the carrier. So I go to certain clients, if they get a ticket, I'll go there, I'll explain why you got the ticket, and I'll talk to them about how they can correct that action, with the driver. So unidentified driving and PC is huge. Make sure you're going in and watching.
Doamna Laura, o plăcere deosebită să vă vedem astăzi alături de noi. Cum ați aflat despre eveniment?
Bună, Liliana, mulțumesc tare mult că m-ați acceptat așa într-un short moment.
Cu mare drag.
Este prima dată, am văzut reclama dumneavoastră pe Facebook și pentru că lucrez într-o companie de tracking și încercăm să aducem viața mai ușoară tuturor celor din tracking, am zis că aș dori să facem parte din acest eveniment.
Ce faceți? Cu ce vă ocupați?
În companie fac un pic din toate, din safety, la recruiting, HR. Asta este prima parte și atunci, partea a doua, avem un program pe care încercăm să-l promovăm. Este un program pe care l-am dezvoltat în companie, pentru că sunt atât de multe programe pe care în tracking business încercăm să le folosim și atunci în companie am zis de ce să nu încercăm să facem noi un program în care să punem tot la un loc. Programul respectiv se cheamă TrackDash.
Probabil trebuie să le spunem și celor de acasă. Ați venit astăzi să ne faceți o prezentare la cum funcționează acest track dash și cei care nu au reușit să vină, cum ar putea să găsească mai multă informație, poate vor și ei să știe mai multe.
Da, absolut. Suntem pe pagina de Facebook, trackdash.com, avem website-ul nostru care se cheamă trackdash.com și majoritatea videourilor în care încercăm să ajutăm noi subscribers sunt pe YouTube, trackdash.com.
So, whenever you get a driver's license, also make sure that you check their address, that it does match with the application. Most of the drivers, they do not update their address. What the DMV and the law requires to do that within 10 days. I had a driver, he didn't notify us that he changed the address. What happened, he got an inspection, the officer asked him like, is this your current address? He's like, no, I bought a new house, I moved to Tennessee, blah, blah. And the officer like, congratulations with the new house, but here is the violation because he did not update it with the DMV. After 10 days, he got stopped once again in a different state, the same violation because driver did not fix previous violation. The same thing with the medical card. Please be careful. If they do have any restrictions, make sure that you get the long form. And also mention to them, if they change their name or if there is any changes, make sure that they do change medical card. Another situation, one of the drivers did a LASIK surgery and he used to have eyeglasses. He did not let us know about. He got stopped by the DOT officer. Officer asked him, where are your eyeglasses or do you have contact lenses? He's like, no, I got a LASIK surgery. I don't need it anymore. He's like, okay, here's the violation because you're not qualified to drive. You never updated your medical card. Also try to teach your drivers to be responsible for their own stuff, like medical card, driver's license. If they have to update driver's license with the DMV, don't tell them, I'll do it for you. Let them do it. It's okay. If you're going to do it once again, it's not a big problem, but make sure that they're responsible for it. I have drivers, sometimes they say, well, I paid to the facility $20 because they said they're going to update it for me. And then at the end, you find out that their driver's license is suspended. So my recommendation, probably most of you know, there is like a monitoring system, like supervision, Samba safety, right? They will send you an alert if there is any changes on their record. Meaning if there is a suspension, pending suspension, unpaid tickets, citations, and things like that. So it's going to help you out to keep your record clean when it comes to the driver's fitness. Another advice, always when you prepare their truck folders, just give them an extra copy of the driver's license and medical card because most of the drivers, they say, well, there is no requirement to keep medical card with me anymore. But actually there is. Every state is different, the law are changing and you cannot keep monitoring these things every day. The same as a gun policy. How many of you have gun policy in the company? 3. How many of you have gun policy?
Gun policy.
Yes, not to have a gun or firearm. So it's really important also to know about the gun policy because most of the drivers, they want to have a gun. And I've been actually asking my drivers, are you guys really scared? They're like, yes, we are. Somewhere in Tennessee where I had one driver recently, he got stopped by the other car and he got assaulted. So at the end, the police came, they got arrested, and this accident popped out on the company's record because they filed as a body injury and things like that. So some of the drivers, they are scared and they want to keep the gun. You cannot control them. You cannot see what they have inside of the truck, but make sure that you have a policy on file. You told them about it, they're not allowed. If they do, then you know that at least you protected your side.
Is that only guns or any other?
Дубинка, допустим.
Дубинка можно. Well, the firearm, the thing is that in some of the states, like in some of the states and jurisdictions, you're allowed to keep a firearm, but not on all of the states, not on all of the jurisdictions. And the gun policy, it's changing like really fast. You never know, and they're traveling through all of the states. So you never know where he's gonna go.
What about a knife? I know some of my drivers.
Well, you can keep a knife because you need to cut your cucumber or something while eating.
Depends on the size of a knife. There is a saying: if a knife fits in your palm, then it's illegal to carry.
I have experience in the trucking industry, I think in every single department, beginning with dispatching, safety, accounting, manager, marketer, I don't know, I even built the website of our company and social media and everything. But today I'm going to focus on safety because that's why we're all here. I will talk about each type of violation, what are the steps a safety person should do, and this is not written law. This is just based on my personal experience. This is what I do and what I suggest people to do, because you won't find it written on FMCSA website that you have to do this, you have to take these steps. But if you have an audit, they come and they ask you for that. So let's start with the most difficult one. If the violation is for equipment, I'm working now on opening my safety training course. And if anybody is interested in learning about safety from scratch, like even there is a new gal or you have some experience, you want to get better at safety, I'm working now on my safety training classes that will probably last 3 days, 3 hours each day for 3 days. And if you guys are interested, I would be happy to work with you in the future or with anyone who is interested in safety and trucking safety. One thing that I would recommend everybody who has their own company or is planning to start a company, the most important tool if you want to grow, if you want a big trucking company in the future, and something that no one taught me. I know a lot of you may think it's not important and we just go do our taxes once a year, right? That's what we were doing. We were doing our taxes once a year, it was enough. And that's why we paid over $1 million only in interest. Because if we would have a good accountant, we'll have good financial statements, we'll get loans, much better interest rate, and we would grow bigger, much bigger than we now, instead of paying, as I said, over $1 million just in first, 5 years for interest. For this money we could be investing and our company could be doubled. I'm telling you this also because my friend Evelina, who was with us at the beginning but she left, she is doing accounting for a while. Now she opened her own accounting firm. If you guys don't have a good accountant, or you have one, you want to switch it, or you don't have anyone, you're just doing your taxes, or even your owner, if you're working for someone and they don't have an accounting, I suggest you find someone who you can trust. This person made our financial statements look so good in just 2 months that we got approvals for all the trucks we want to finance. And before we used her, we got denied. So this is just a small intro, small advertising. If you want to use accounting services from accounting firm, I can give you more information later. If not, just think about your accountant if you have one. You should have it in a trucking company. If you plan to grow, you should have a good accounting. Thank you. Now I'm ready for the questions.
Did you get some any
Question, what information goes on the side of the door? Well, guess what? By law, it's only the company name, USDOT number. That's it. That's all you should have on your door. If you want to put the state, if you want to put your, the VIN number is not obligated. That's based on the state. There is a rule of federal and there is a state rules. Okay, so we always have to remember that there is a state rules and federal rules. By the law, they only have to see, because they're taking a picture where it says USDOT and they're taking a picture of your DOT. Believe me, they're not taking your VIN number. They're not taking your carrier name. That's what pulls up already in the system when you are going. All right, so the first thing when they pull you in, usually probably you're somewhere overweight on one of the axles. Okay. Second thing that a lot of people don't know, and that's a fairly new thing that they added. When you're about, I'll say maybe a mile away from a weigh station, there is a little camera on the bottom. That camera fixating your tire pressure. Okay, that nobody knows. All right, that's the little camera when you walk in, and it takes every single pressure of every single tire in your truck. Okay, so it's trailer and truck. So these are the two things that they will count when they will pull you over. Of course, CSA score, that's a big one. So the CSA score over, I believe it's over 75, they will pull you over. They want to check you because you're bad.
Lucrați. Deci voi, fără ca să deschideți un IFTA account, nu o să puteți lucrați, pentru că voi trebuie să raportați mailele. Eu acum am să vorbesc un pic mai târziu despre audit, IFTA audit, și ca să ajung la IFTA audit trebuie să-i explic că din start voi nu puteți doar cu DOT-ul și MC-ul activ să puteți să lucrați. Voi trebuie să aveți IFTA account. Însă voi puteți să nu aveți IFTA account dacă voi aveți un lease agreement cu altă companie care prestează serviciile de IFTA. Stickerele de IFTA, ele se dau în fiecare an pe în dependență de an, culoarea și numărul la an. Doar luna ianuarie e o lună de zile în care poți să mergi fără de sticker, pentru că cumva se dă acea perioadă până...
Fără de sticker nu.
Da, fără de sticker, dar certificate voi trebuie să aveți, fie că ați luat la lease, fie că l-ați deschis pe vostru.
Pentru cei de acasă nu este secret, la un moment dat am avut o dorință foarte mare din partea comunității noastre să vină să fie prezent la acest eveniment, să avem capacitate limitată. Dacă se poate așa un mesaj frumos pentru cei care și-au dorit să fie astăzi de noi și nu au putut.
Sper că anul viitor să puteți face parte din așa eveniment frumos, pentru că, într-adevăr, o să învățați foarte multe lucruri noi. Până și eu am învățat lucruri noi care credeam că le știu, parte din safety, așa că sperăm că la anul să fiți alături de noi.